Hello, my name is Cole from Banhammer Games, and it's been a while. We haven't done a video. Oh Lord, I don't remember when the last time I recorded a video. It was forever ago. But I'm pretty late to this. I'd originally recorded a video a couple weeks ago, fully intending on editing it and then uploading it, but didn't really like what I was saying in it, so we're just kind of redo it right now. And the big topic I really want to talk about is the chaotic revival reboot. I'm pretty sure it's reboot. Yeah. So within the last couple of weeks, I've been looking back on all of my old chaotic cards and like really jumping into chaotic again, and it's been a ton of fun, especially because now I have someone that I can actually talk strategies and stuff with that I like, because people at my locals we're big on chaotic, and now that it's back, we're gearing up for that. My thoughts on the chaotic revival: I'm really excited, and it does look like they're gonna modernize some mechanics, and we don't know exactly what that means, so I don't think it's gonna be like a one-to-one recreation of the game, and we don't really know a whole lot beyond that. We know that it's gonna the goal is for it to launch October of this year, so that's what today is. June, July, August, it's a couple months away. I can't do that math right now and drive. It's a couple months away. Still don't know how it plays or what exactly the game plan is for the reboot. One thing's for certain though, you're not going to have Marillions right out the gate, which I think is fine. Like, we didn't have Marillions out the gate originally. They were a pretty big like story component, so it makes total sense that we wouldn't have them on launch of a reboot. That's really exciting. So there's going to be starter decks and booster packs coming out, and the main set we know is going to have hundreds of cards, so it's multiple hundreds, so probably like a really big, I would say it's like a 200 card base set is what I would say. And on the chaoticgame.com website, you can see some card arts for cards that we never got, like that one Fairy Lady, and I think there was an Underworld Guy 2. I can't remember off the top of my head, but they were prominently featured, so there's a very good chance that we could be getting cards that didn't exist before, which is also really cool. Also, they had like a Maxor. They had Maxor's is it like Xerium armor or whatever the lion armor that he wears. They called it like armored Maxor or something like that. There's also a Kaor, same thing. And like, they had pictures, and they don't have any descriptions of it, just pictures and like the name of the card or the character, which I thought was really interesting. So I'm wondering what exactly that means, because those are also like later story important upgrades that they get if we're going by the original, like lore from the TV show and the game. So I don't know, that was an interesting point to me. The chaotic reboot is going to happen, and it's going to be produced by Panini, which, if you're not familiar, Panini is a brand that focuses mostly on sports cards, like football, baseball, basketball, like those kinds of sports cards, right? And they did used to dabble a little bit in card games. I know there used to be a Dragon Ball Z card game. And that didn't last very long. I think it lasted like maybe a couple sets, if that. I have a starter deck for it, and my buddy Jack, who used to be on the the original Drive Check podcast, he and I would play it over Skype. He taught me how to play it. That was forever ago. So I don't know about that. I don't have great confidence in that. But Panini does have some like really nice card stock thickness with their sports cards, which you kind of want that with sports cards. So maybe they got good foiling and good shiny stuff. So it's very possible that they could make this work. It's just I'm skeptical of it, and I don't know exactly what the involvement is in the overall creative process with Panini. If they're just there to print cards and make product, or if they actually have a handle in the game, whatever. So that is concerning to me. But that's one of those things where we won't know until we actually get the cards in our hands. Let's see what else. Oh, another thing. A lot of people. Well, there's two things, right? Random stats that also kind of feeds into using your old cards. So let's start with the random stats. I personally wish that they don't continue with the random stats. I don't think that is great for modern day card games, especially if you want to make this a competitive card game. I think that's a really bad decision, because the competitive people are going to min-max the hell out of this. They're going to be searching for the max stats of whatever creature, like Maxor with his maximum stat spread, which is like it's really fucking rare to begin with, because not only is Maxor an ultra rare, which you only get one ultra rare per box. Back in the day, I hope to God they fix that. But yeah, back in the day, you got one ultra rare per box. And then if you got an ultra rare creature, hopefully the stats were okay, because you could have an ultra rare Maxor, but you could have like what I think the difference was like 25 points or energy difference. You could have like 50 energy. So he's surviving 2 attacks, and that's probably it, depending on how damage stacking you can do, how much damage stacking you can do. So you open this ultra rare Maxor card, and he can barely hold his own in a fight. I really don't like that. And it's not just for the ultra rares, because opening a really weak, a poor statted ultra rare sucks. Like, it fucking sucks. It blows. But it also sucks for your commons and your rares as well, because like you need those higher stats anyway in order to like really compete. And then you just get like some bad ones. I don't know. I just, the random stats, flavor wise, they're really cool. Casually, they're really cool. Competitively, not so much, because you're already at a disadvantage, right? Speaking of only getting one ultra rare for a box, that shit's got to stop. That is greedy. I understand ultra rare is supposed to be like really very powerful. They're supposed to be like good cards to have, like hard to find. Like thematically, that makes sense. They're ultra rares. Again, in a competitive state, ultra rares are really powerful, and not being able to play with the higher rare cards just because you just can't afford them or play them or open them, that sucks too. Like I really don't like that. Yeah, it's especially because we don't know pricing either. That's another thing. We don't know pricing about this stuff either. If a booster box is really cheap, and you can get like, by cheap I mean like $80. I think $80 is a really cheap booster box these days. That's about what One Piece goes for, I think. Maybe they go for 90 now. But I think One Piece booster boxes are nice, actually. And I really hope that Chaotic can do the same thing, because I think you get, I don't remember how many, but you got like 5 or 6 like big hits per box or something like that. But you got a nice spread of things, like some alt arts and oh god, what were they called? What were the rarities? SRs, SECs, SERs? I don't remember. Like secret rares, you get like 1 or 2 a box depending on the set. No, you get like 1 a box, maybe that's what it was. But there's multiple in the set. I don't remember. It's been a long time since I've opened One Piece or played One Piece, but I think the $80 threshold, $80 to $90 threshold for a booster box is good. I could do 100 if I got like a nice incentive with these packs, like if I got code cards or you know, like there was a reason that these were worth more other than just they can be. It's so hard to tell who's a cop car these days. And then, so we talked about that. We talked about the rarity. What was it? Oh, come on. Subaru's not sounding so good these days. I just had it on my, codes. Being able to use your old cards. Why the fuck would you be able to use your old cards? Like, it just, there's so many logistical reasons why I don't think that just doesn't make sense to me. Primarily, they're tweaking mechanics to modernize them. So right off the bat, that means they're probably changing existing things. And there's already a shitload of erratas on, like there's an entire Google Doc just of erratas and card ability clarifications. You'd have to errata old cards and make them work the way that they want, that they're supposed to. I think that is incredibly cumbersome and disrespectful. But, and also the fact that we don't know what mechanics change, what mechanics stay. Like, just trying to justify your old card collection retroactively working with new cards blows my fucking mind. Leave those cards in the past. Let them be what they are. Let that game, that little ecosystem live. And let the new one breathe. Like, thrive. It's just, card quality is going to be different. Card names are probably going to change. Like, it's unrealistic. Also, getting and obtaining these old cards. Some of these cards are like almost 20 years old. And trying to acquire them, that would be fucking miserable. Because, like, you'd have to look on eBay, you'd have to look on some really obscure websites and stuff in order to find these cards. And I think that's so fucking stupid. I think it's so stupid. Just let the new cards exist in their own world, basically. Like, it's a reboot. That's what it is. It is a reboot. They're rebooting old cards. They'll keep the same characters. They'll probably keep the same themes. I guarantee a lot of the effects are going to stay the same as well. But the card designs are going to change. Some of the mechanics, which again, we don't know what they do. We don't know what that means. Things are going to be different, and it's okay. It's okay. Let your old cards live in their own little time capsule. Same thing with like retro cards for Pokemon. And depending on how the new version works with the old version, maybe there can be a fan-made format where you can actually marry the two games together, kind of like an eternal format in like Commander or Yu-Gi-Oh, where it's just the one thing. Well, Yu-Gi-Oh's a bad example, but Commander's probably better. or I guess modern would be good. Anyway, like an extended format or an eternal format, because things are going to change. Actually, now I'm thinking about Magic might be a bad example. Pokemon might be the closest, actually, now I'm thinking about it. Yeah, I'm very excited. I am cautiously optimistic. But the more that I talk about this, the more that I gush about the game with my friends, and I'm reliving these core memories that I had growing up, the more that I'm like falling in love with it again. And that has been really nice. My buddy Simon and I went through all my cards. We sorted and organized them, and then Simon is like the best kind of nerd where he likes to organize and set things, make things easy to obtain and search. So he made a really extensive spreadsheet of all the cards that I had and all of the cards that I am missing, either full copies of or like one copy of, and I have a full play set. Which, God love him. I'm glad that he did that, because I could not have done it to the extent that he could have done. So I'm super grateful for that. But now that I have that, I just want to make proxies of the cards that I'm missing. Get those printed at a little higher quality, and then play with those. So then I can complete my set. I can have like a full collection of Chaotic, because I'm not selling my cards. These are my precious memories, and I want to be able to play with them, and I want my friends to play with them. So I am going to be making an entire proxy collection. That's my goal. So that I can play with whatever I want. I don't have to worry about, because I don't have this card, I can't play this card. I can do a bunch of really funky stuff. So that I'm super excited about. Also, I've been rewatching the TV show. They're on the website on Chaotic Game. You can actually watch the episodes of the anime, or not anime. It's not an anime. The cartoon. I'm just gonna say the show, where you can watch the show, because they're upscaling it, and they're also the dimensions, because when it first aired, it was in a 3:4 ratio, which was what most televisions were, and then they went to high definition, which was 16:9 ratio, and there's 9:16, whatever. And so on the original cartoon, oops, my hand's in the way. On the original cartoon, when the animators were animating it, it's in flash animation, right? And so they had already animated it in 16:9 format, and then they just cropped it for the 3:4 release. Not release. Yeah, I guess release. So basically, they're going back, and I don't remember what day it was, but every week there's a new episode dropping of the original show, upscale, basically. And I've been rewatching them. They still hold up. That game, or that world, holds up. That world building is so cool. I really like the characters of the show. It just feels really, really good. I like the concept of it as well. I'm gonna make a little bit more of an extensive breakdown of the game and the world later, if I ever get time. Because Tim in my Discord gave me this 4-part little mini docu-series or whatever that I could make about the game, which I think would be really cool, and I would love to do that. I just need some time. So I'm not going to have any free time for a couple weeks, so hopefully I can actually edit this and get this up. Oh, another thing that they did also announce is that the game is going to come to hobby stores and EB Games / GameStop first, before it goes to big box stores in 2027, I think. I don't know if we got like a time frame for when it would actually hit big box stores, but they're hitting game stores first, which is always the play when you're launching a new trading card game. You want to establish your player base first, make sure that the people have a place to play, and then you can start opening up your product to the bigger box stores. Now, I know TCG players are spoiled right now for their choice of game. You can play whatever the fuck you want. There's a Neopets card game. There's a new My Little Pony card game I haven't looked into yet. You got One Piece. You got Alestrals, Digimon, Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, Magic. Then you have Commander, because that's kind of different than Magic. God, what else is there? There's so many different things, especially indie card games. They're all over the place. I love that. The Ultraman card game. How could I forget the Ultraman card game? You can play like whatever you want. Star Wars, Lorcana. Although I don't think those two are doing too hot. And I know people are concerned because this is another new card game opening up in probably the second Gilded era, whatever. The golden years of card games. So, like back in the 90s, that was the first one, and then it kind of like slowly died down, and then it picked back up. I'd say it picked back up probably around 23, give or take 2023. Now we're in a boom. Everything's got a card game again. Actually, I will say it's more indie card games now. Versus before, it was kind of like more IP card games. Like every IP back in the day had a card game. There was a Tomb Raider card game. I have Austin Powers, for example. Age of Empires had a card game, etc., etc. But how I think this one is different than any other any of the other card games out right now is Chaotic already had a really big following. It's remembered very fondly. Whether if you watch the show or you just collect the cards, never actually played. Like, the IP is strong with nostalgia, especially because we're going on like 20 years. I think it came out in 2007 originally. So yeah, next year will be the 20th anniversary. And yeah, there's still a pretty active fan base that are still playing the game. There's a couple of browser games you can play. There's Recode, where it's just kind of like a dueling book for Yu-Gi-Oh, but I think it's a little bit more automated. But it's still browser based like that. And then there's Portal to Param, which is it's kind of like turning. It's the closest that you're gonna get to playing Chaotic in real life, I think, because you go on like quote unquote scan quests to unlock random scans of attacks or creatures or whatever, and the stats are really funky in that one. They're not base 5; they're like all over the place, from what I remember. But like you're still playing, you're going on a scan quest, you're waiting like I think 6 hours or something like that, and then at the end of that you get cards. There's also specific quest lines to go down to get guaranteed cards like Maxmark, Lord Von Blue, etc., etc. So those are cool. Those are actually popping off lately. But I believe Portal to Param, that dev said that they're not going to update it anymore, really. You just kind of, you get what you get, because that's another thing I forgot to mention. There's going to be a new client for the Chaotic card game online. And there's also a new app, and I can't remember exactly what they called it. It's like a PWAS or something, Progressive Web App, something, PWA, something. So basically, it's kind of like it's like if you ever opened up TCG Player app on your phone, and it's basically just the browser, but like condensed into a really bad version of the the TCG Player website. It's kind of the same thing, except I think right now it works a little bit better than the TCG Player app. But they're doing it this way because you don't have to go through any app stores in order for them to push out updates or anything like that. They do it all on their website, and then instantaneously it'll go out everywhere at the same time, and you don't need like Apple or Google to check over every update that you do. So it gives them a lot more flexibility, which is really nice. So yeah, that's going to exist. I think from what it looks like, you might be able to play the card game on your mobile device as well. I hope that's the case, because it's probably going to be how I play it most of the time. It's just more convenient for me that way. So I really hope that is the case for that. Otherwise, I don't know how much we'll be able to actually play online. But being able to play online right out the gate for a new indie card, I think they're an indie card game. I don't know. I'll have to look into exactly what our definitions of indie card game means. Does that mean it's independently published? Does that mean that it is independently distributed, whatever? And does it mean that because they have that Panini exists, not an indie trading card game anymore? I don't know. I'm looking at that definition. I think I'm kind of leaning towards it not being an independent, an indie game, but who really knows right now? Anyway, I forgot what I was saying. But it's I'm very excited for this. I think this is going to be awesome. I'm brewing up decks like crazy. I get to use my favorite Danians. Yeah, it's just been a really good and really fun time. And I'm excited to see where this next when our new update for this is gonna happen, because I hope to God that there's something at Gen Con. I haven't been able to check and to verify. Man, I think that would be a massive miss if there's not a booth at Gen Con to at least teach you how to play and get you excited. Maybe even hand out some demo decks, like Underworld versus Overworld demo decks, like 3v3, real small things. I think you're missing out majorly if that were the case. So, man, here's hoping. Worst case scenario, I'll have some Chaotic with me when I go to Gen Con this year. Because that's right, I'll be at Gen Con all 4 days. All 4 days this year. So, if anyone's watching, wants to hang out, grab a game of Chaotic or Ultraman, I might be down for Commander, or if you tell me what you want to play and I have enough time to prepare something, I'll bring something. But yeah, it would be cool to meet up and hang out with people. I know I usually get to hang out with Tim, which is great, and Alec also. And I wonder if I have my other homies that I go with as well. So hopefully I can meet some more people. Play some Chaotic, maybe even play some Beyblade, because Beyblade's sick. Forward to, and I'm really excited for about this card game. are not only the ability to actually play in tournaments, because I was too young when it came out to play in tournaments. I think for this game, I actually want to try and become a TO for, maybe even a judge. Like, I want to spread my love of this game, like a lot of my friends do for their games that they love. So that's one thing that I want to do. I want the reboot to be fun, you know. At the end of the day, as long as the game is fun, that's really what I'm looking for. I do want to keep the same art or artists. I don't know if he's the head designer or art director or whatever his job was, but I think it's Carrie Randolph, or Rudolph Randolph. I can't remember, but they're basically responsible for like the whole style of Chaotic, like the art style of all the creatures and all like the I don't know how much Battle Gear they did. I think they mostly did creatures, but like that cool area, or not area. What am I trying to say? That cool aesthetic. There we go. So I would really love that. I'd also love like some good organized play pricing and whatnot, because some of my favorite things to do with Pokemon, you know, when I go to locals, you get like a little play pack or play series little pack, and it gives you, I think it's 5 cards, and you get 2 of the exclusive foil pattern of whatever that set is. It's usually like the Galaxy foils right now, and I think that's really cool. I love simple, easy, cheap ways to bling out your decks. Oh, that's another thing. I would love for Chaotic to have, if not alt arts, I would love all arts. I would love higher rarity in set, like in the booster pack versions of stuff. So like maybe there is a foil version of Torrent of Flame or Spirit Gust. I think Spirit Gust. Yeah. Like these cheap common and uncommon cards, they're like, if you can get like foiled versions of those, that'd be really cool. Maybe you can get different arts of like the ultra rares in the set, because the more different versions of cards in the set, the cheaper the card generally is, because there are more copies that exist. So you'll have your people who like to bling out decks. Unfortunately, that's me. They can get like the versions that they want, like the really shiny versions, and then that means that there's more base rarity cards in existence, like in circulation, without necessarily really adjusting a lot of rarities and stuff. So that's one of my favorite things that Pokemon does, is generally like the cover card of a set, depending on how good it is. Like for example, it's that Chaos Rising with Mega Greninja. Mega Greninja, I think, has like 3 or 4 printings in Chaos Rising. It's got the regular art, it's got the ultra rare art, which is the full art, and there's an artist rare, or I can't remember what if that's an illustrated rare or whatever, and then there's a super mega illustration rare, or is that the gold one? But there's like 4 different versions of it. So I don't think that, I haven't looked at prices for Chaos Rising yet, but I don't think that card is worth like more than $10, just base rarity, which is really nice. So yeah, that's one thing that I'm really looking forward to, is to see what they'll do with like alt arts and stuff like that. What else am I looking forward to? Besides just playing the game again and experiencing it with friends, maybe, hopefully, more of the cartoon. I think they probably have to reboot the cartoon, though. Which, I don't know. I don't know if I want that or not. Now that I'm thinking about that, maybe they can. I really need, if they do have to reboot the cartoon, I just really hope that it's good. That the storytelling is good, it's funny, because Chaotic is funny. And Chaotic also does use actual strategy in the show, in the card game. I hope they keep that up. I hope the characters are cool. I hope they keep building the world, because Chaotic is one of my favorite like universes to begin with. So I'm really hoping that things like that really really help it pop off. Alright, I'm pretty close to home, so I'm just gonna sign off here. Chaotic is back, baby. I'm back, baby. Let's go. Let's get Chaotic. Blah, blah, blah.